All set. All right. So, welcome to the first episode of Somebody's Dad Teaches You Stuff. This is my guitar, and I'm going to show you a little bit of things about my guitar. This video is intended to be PG-13, as it's intended for a couple of young little ladies, my daughters. Kaylee, pick up a guitar. This will help you. Sarah Lynn, wash your hands. So, what we're going to do today is take a look at my guitar. This is a Simon & Patrick acoustic. Bought this probably about 15 years ago. It hasn't changed a day in the past 14 years. Took it to a party and it's looked like this ever since. But it sounds pretty sweet when I get it working. So, I'm going to take a look here. Here. Lighting is an issue. Again, first episode. There is a learning curve and a pandemic, so good luck trying to find lighting. So we're going to use a flashlight. That's an active pickup. You put a 9-volt battery in there, puts a little bit of charge so that when you plug in to an amplifier, there's a little hidden bar underneath here, which would be upside down. So there we are inside. I don't know if that helps. There you go. So, yeah. This side here is where you control the tone, the pitch, or the treble, the bass, the mid, the volume. Let you control how loud you're going out to your amplifier. Here, there's a couple of little nuts and bolts. These bolts are for your truss rod. Your truss rod attaches your fretboard here. Now it attaches your fretboard and also controls what's referred to as the action. It's the distance from the strings to the fretboard itself. With that, it makes it sound a little bit better if you adjust it correctly. Now let's take a look over here. I like to line up these little doodads. As you can see, little holes in them. That's where you put your strings through. Try to line them up, keep them down the center. Make sure that bit there is good. Normally it would be attached, but mine has come off, as you can see. As you can see. Now, see as we go up. Got your pins. Now the strings we're going to use today are a set of elixirs. Polyweb, 80/20 bronze, and they're lights. I've been reluctant on putting these strings in because they're actually kind of special. My dad passed away on his birthday, February 15th, 2017. So it's been a couple of years. With that, I bought him a set of strings for either Father's Day, Christmas, birthday, I don't know. Bought him a set of strings for something. And they were a gift. He never used them. One of the few things I was actually able to grab before my aunt stole everything. But hey, such is life. Some people are greedy. So we've got strings. So we're going to hook those up. Normally I use the Extra Lights NanoWeb Phosphor Bronze. So these are absolutely not the type of strings I would normally use. But in light of the pandemic and the fact that there is no open music store, adapt and survive. So, we're going to start this up here, just try to figure out, like I said, growing pains, first episode. If this catches on, I promise you it will improve. Normally, I prefer to be able to keep this going. Prefer to be able to let my guitar sit after I put my strings on. How's that looking? Yeah, it's not too bad. Pretty much lined up. Alright. So, how are we going to do this? Try to diffuse the light on the fly. And it's an accident waiting to happen. Here, let's try this. It's just going to blind me. I think I will do... How's this looking up here? At least something in the general vicinity. I don't want to spend the whole video fighting to get this lit, because it's not about lighting. Though lighting is everything. There we go. There we go. Adapt and survive. Try not to swear. Alright, so let's crack these strings up and let's get this set up. Now normally what I like to do, just double check the number. So this is your big one. This is number 6, number 5. Oh, look. He's got a Harley guitar pick in here. He gave me a gift. Look at that. I don't use a guitar pick. I'm a drummer, not a guitarist, so I'm sorry for being slack on the terms. Just trying to show my daughters what I do when I change my guitar strings. Never know, it might come in handy in the future. There you go, and down to the little one. So we're not going to start with the little one, we're going to start with the big one first. And you get them all set up. So, make it easy. And I'll try to make it quick too, so you get an idea of how long it normally takes to put strings on a guitar. Try not to bend, break. You want to keep them straight. Keep the integrity of the string the best you can. Polyweb ain't too bad. It's got a nice little coating over the strings to make it so that your fingers can slide a little better. But the nano web I find is a lot better. You can get squeaking from these ones. Not so much as you would with regular ones, but the polyweb you still get a little bit more squeak than you get with the nano web, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. Alright. And again, disclaimer, I am a drummer, not a guitarist. So all you guitarists who are saying, what the hell are you doing? That's my excuse. I'm not a perfectionist. Well, I'm not perfect. I'm only human. So, kind of had some interest in this dude I saw online. His name's MC Xander. Apparently he's supposed to do something. I wanted to do this way before now because I wanted to try and jam with him, but ain't going to happen tonight. But if he does it every Friday, I'm definitely going to try next weekend. Because normally I like to give my strings a night to rest. It's like when you're cooking pizza or cooking food. Take it out of the oven. You got to give it a few minutes to rest. Well, you want the strings to acclimatize to your guitar. Whoa. That's thinner than normal. Nothing beats a fresh set of strings. I just don't like it when they sound too tinny. So we're going to do a little thing up here while I try not to kill myself with this light. There we go. And we'll just reposition this down here so we can see what we are doing. Because now that we got those strings in, just to line them up so you have a little better control before you start sticking your pins in. Actually, you know what? I am going to stick those pins in. That you should see what I'm doing. So you get a better idea of how I'm doing it, sweetie. yes, if you hear meowing in the background, it's all their fault. I'm taking care of my kids' cats. They will not pick them up. It really sucks. Okay, so I stick that in. I pull that up, kind of edge it, give it a bit of a push. I want to be careful with it because I gotta. How am I? Are you seeing me? Yeah, you're seeing me. Give it a little tug. Don't give it too hard of a tug, but just so you've got about finger tight. Same with the truss rod. I've already cleaned this all up. I was already inside and fixed up the truss rod a bit, just tightened it slightly. I'm experimenting. I've never really done that before. So hopefully I didn't overdo it, but I was trying to tinker with the action because once this is on, you ain't getting your hand in there. Get that all lined up, lined up, lined up, lined up. Beautiful. Okay, that's what we want. Cat whiskers. Alright, so let's go back down here where we were. Let me see if I can't reposition my light somehow. There we go. There we go. That ain't so bad. Hopefully it's not too flooded for you. Again, I'm just making do with a cell phone and whatever little bits and pieces are coming along the way. So, let's just get myself here. Now I want to make sure that my holes are lined up. Keeps it going a little bit more smoothly. And you go string by string. You want to make sure there's no tangles. You don't want there to be any perturbations, anything that kind of puts it out of whack. And all you're doing right now is lining it up. What the hell? That cloudy stuff on it. Guess that's the poly web. That's weird. Never noticed that on these strings before. So, get that lined up. Then you do one at a time. And that's the whole trick. Gotta be patient. Don't rush it, but get an idea of how long you're taking. You don't want to take forever, but you want to be good about what you're doing. Don't worry about that just yet. Now, that string that you see on there was for a strap. I put it on, lost my strap. Never bothered to take it off because you never know. Might get another strap. Or then again, you never know. Alright, there we are. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. Doing this here now. Alright. I'm not doing perfection just yet. Just lining it up. The thing about getting old is losing your eyesight. And your hearing. Oh my god. I had to switch to guitar because my hearing's going on me from playing drums. Sucks. Really enjoyed playing drums. For all you people out there that want to get into music, become a drummer first. Learn percussion. Learn percussion. Because there ain't nothing worse than playing with a guitarist who sounds amazing by himself. But when you try to do something in a group, his ego lets you down. Always be humble. And that little lady you hear in the background is my third daughter. Her name is Ella. She was named by Kaylee. And she's a wonderful little joy, aren't you, baby girl? Meow? Oh, sure. Just like the other two. Try to say hello and they just give you the cold shoulder. Alright, now where did that go? good to have a good working area, a good working space, so that way you know. It's good to have a good working space. So, oh, this is just going to be a pain. All right. Okay, well, let me hook this on here. There we go. That'll do. So we're going to pop this on. Boom. All the strings should just magically line up, just like butter. More or less. Don't force nothing. Never force it on your guitar. It'll let you know where it wants to go. Just follow it. It's organic. Guitar is alive in a lot of ways. There we go. Okay. So, kind of push this up. Kind of got that lined up. Then we're going to start tightening the strings. Now, keeping in mind that you have to keep an even tension. On your strings. Just got to watch the time because I'm trying to do this in under 40 minutes. So there you go. See? You want to make that curve inward. Just want to get it over enough. Ooh, make sure you have no accidents. Watch both sides. Watch your pin because that can come up if you're not careful. Get your string through. Keep your string on. And give it a tug. There you go. And this is where it can bend. You want to be careful with your bends, but you want it to grab, and this is where it's going to grab. As long as everything in, this is your guide string. There you go. There you go. How am I looking? How am I looking? There we go. Okay, that's going to be tight enough for now. Push this next one. Next one in. As long as you keep to the same format, it should keep the same format for you. Just get it around tight enough. There we go. Make sure your pin, check your pin on the other end. And you just want finger tight. You don't want too tight. You just want enough, tight enough that it's not going to be sloppy like it was. You're not tuning it yet, because this is not this video. Tuning is part 2. All we're doing is setting it up. Well, we are going to tune a bit, but we're not going to tune too much. So that pin's going. There we are. Just repetitive. Give that a little tug. You want a little bit of tension coming on this. As you get thinner, just kind of rotate. You got to do the exact same thing with your drums. You got to rotate, always got to rotate. You want to try to even out and equalize the pressure. You don't want too much pressure and too much tension too soon throughout the guitar, and you want to start with the thick string first and work your way down. Give that a little tug like you did before. Watch your pin. Make sure your string doesn't ride too much, because it will ride on the pin, and that's why you get that indentation in the pin that you saw before the beginning of the video. So putting that through, and we're going to, there we are. You're going to notice it's going to take a lot more turns the thinner the string, because you want it to catch, you want it to bend, and that bend, that first initial bend, that's everything. That says everything for the life of the strings on this guitar at this point in time. Don't think I've used this type of string before, so it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. So they're all getting on there. It's all still pretty loose. So we're getting there. Patience gets the job done. Alrighty. Here we are, kiddo. Almost done. Now these ones are kind of weird because I find that they don't normally, you get to a certain point, you don't normally need as many turns. Oh. One doesn't want to grab. What's going on here? Oh, don't mess with me, Mr. String. Mr. String wants to be messy. What's happening here, Mr. String? Oh, nuts. See, this is what you want to avoid happening, but it's not so bad that it's on this thinner string. But it bent too soon. Should be able to bend it back. This normally doesn't happen, but it can. Get it back to center so it's easier to tug up. There you go, tugged up. That's what happens when your pin slips. That was just a pin slip. You're going to be chopping that off anyway, so it shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully it didn't screw it up. But we won't know until we get there. Keep everything flowing the same direction. Well, mirrored top to bottom. This one's really being difficult. I've never had this much problem with a string, especially one of these little guys. Really, really difficult today. Go. Don't slip. There we go. Good stuff. We go. Last but not least, we get the little string. Again, drummer, not a guitarist. Funny thing is, I've had years and years of practice on the drums, years and years of training, but not with the guitar. The guitar I taught myself, as you can tell. I kind of turned my guitar into another percussion instrument. Are you going to work for me, baby? Are you going to work for me? And there we go, there we go, there we go. All right, so that guitar has been strung. Looking for time. So that's my guitar. It is strung. This is how I string my guitar. Make sure that's a line. Whoa, I'm making a mess. It is not tuned yet. It is merely strung, which is the intent of the video. That's how you string a guitar. Tune in for part 2 for how you tune it. In the meantime, thanks for joining me, and hopefully this was educational. Check in for part 2 and I'll show you how I tune it. Have a great night, guys. Wash those hands.